Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. This is just a brief introductory video. I wanted to get on here briefly while I was out running some errands, and in my spirit I hear today is the day. Today is today. So we're going to begin today. Some of you may formerly know me as Ty Will. I want to announce today that my name going forward will be Disciple Ty at 555 Ministries, which I will gladly announce that this year at some point I will be launching that ministry, but everything will be done under 555 Ministry, which is a teaching discipleship ministry. And that is why it was the leading of the Lord to say, hey, you do all things because of me. And the name is important because disciple just simply means student, it means disciplined one. So I do not come in my name. I come in the name of Yeshua, which they say allegedly in English is Jesus. But Yeshua HaMashiach is the name, was the name. Historically, if you search that name, then you will find the history, but you will not find the history of Jesus. So, with that being said, I want to briefly talk to you guys today. I first want to say that it is my job to provide you with the information. It is your job to decide the truth of the matter for yourself. Every man must choose for himself his path and what he wants to believe and what he wants to follow. It is a choice. So I'm not here for the purpose of pushing my mind, my opinion, or my there's no agenda only than to invite you in a conversation on my platform. And if it's for you, then it's for you. If it's not for you, then it's just not for you. But briefly, I want to talk to you guys today about uh culture versus the occult. And should you be considering what's behind culture? What is the difference between culture versus the occult? If you look in the thumbnail, you will see that culture has a lot to do with food. It has a lot to do with religious beliefs, lifestyles, fashion, clothes, culture. Culture affects everyone. Everyone wants to be a part of a group. If you were to take people and you were to put people in a room and people had to pick a corner or pick a place to belong due to culture, that is the common thing that people hold because we don't look the same, we don't all act the same, and even if we did have similarities, culture is what determines where people want to group or place themselves. So culture Culture is a beautiful thing. I want you to know that it's okay to be different. It is okay to like a different food. It is okay to like a different style of music. It is okay to like a different fashion or to express yourself. Culture is the outward expressions of internal inspirations. But when you look at the word culture, you will notice the word cult. So when you notice the word cult, what is a cult? It is a group. It is a group of people with a common agenda, a common belief. They share common values. So a cult. So people, but normally cults are led by leaders. And the problem with cult is that when you think of a cult and you think of it being led by a leader, the leader kind of tends to predetermine the way things are going to be, but the leader is often voted by the people. And so you group and huddle together, and you notice that everyone is like kind of like robots. So when you think about the word culture, what we want it to be, it's not really what it is words, 95% of English words or words are cursed words. So when you start breaking down words and syllables and you break down the word cult and then so you have a cult and then you have a to it. And then we get into occult. So when we talk about occult means to be hidden. So you have culture and then you have the occult. But what if I told you, I just want you to think about this and feel free to comment and leave your opinion. What if I told you that perhaps behind culture are cults? So there's the visible people who handle culture. When I think about culture, when I think about hip hop and I think about music and I think about um the rap group of the Amigos, and I think about how in their songs and how their music, how they prided themselves on being a part of the culture. They changed the music. They were a group that revamped and did their own thing. And this is true. They did. They are responsible for a lot of culture. So that gives you an idea what I mean by culture. There's a group, there's a face to it. There's someone on the face front leading it. But the occult, I want to talk about what's hidden, what's behind it. So in other words, who is the financial source? It's not the face that you see, it's the money. We have to begin to follow the money and follow the source of the money. Because what bearing or what fortitude would people have as cultural leaders if there was not a financial backing? Most people, especially in the black community and the Latino communities, most are not able to do the things they want to do because you don't have the money. So the occult hidden, what I want to steer your mind on, just think about this for a second. You don't see these people. You will never see their faces, but they have the money. So they put the money to a face. And the face that you think is leading has no power, cannot be in power without money. Money is a power. Money is a power structure, is a power system, currency, because they have currency. They have the ability to enable one to fulfill their dream or their aspirations. And what's in it for the culture or the culture leaders? They're just living out their dream. They're just doing the things that they're passionate about. And they get money along the way. And then they get more money. And then more people tend to follow culture when they see the success behind it. But again, we're dealing with a different type of culture because you could simplify it. As I mentioned when I first started, you could simplify it down to food and fashion and a way that people eat and a lifestyle. But I'm talking about the overall culture. I'm talking about the Western hemisphere, the American culture, and how our culture is so sexualized, how our culture is so vibrant, so colorful. So the question I ask and I pose, could there be hidden people behind it? Could there possibly be an Illuminati? Could there possibly be a group of people that meet in secret places and have secret meetings? Could it possibly be that the faces that you see really don't have as much control or the influence that you think they have? Because what can a person do without resources? If you cut the resources, then you no longer have influence. And that is the most powerful thing about some of the most powerful teachers and people in the world. Even without resource, they still could influence culture. So Think on these things. Think on what I'm saying. The people that you look up to, the people that you listen to, if everything was stripped away from them, the materialistic things, the image, and yet something about them still can move you, then that is powerful. Because we live in a world where there's so much theatrics, so much magic, so much it's like a show. There's all the flashing lights and all the sparkles and all the clowns and all the uniforms and all the suits. So much is done to entice and to get people involved in a culture that you don't even get to meet the people behind it. So it's the things that you don't see that you should be more concerned about than what you see. But for most people, seeing is believing. But then I must pose and ask the question, what eyes are you seeing through? Because if you're looking through these eyes, my friend, you are blind. Because a man who is deemed blind can still see. And many times see better than people who can see through these eyeballs. But again, today my goal is only to be brief. I believe that teaching frees the mind. I believe that when we simply have a conversation about things and allow people to voice their opinion and allow people the opportunity to ask questions, because culture today, the news and media in America has taught, do not question what I tell you, but simply just digest it. It's a dangerous thing for a person to think. And I would like for you guys to sincerely think about the trends and the culture and the things that you follow and you get into. To each his own. It is your choice. It is your prerogative what you want to follow, how you want to dress, how you want to express yourselves. But what if you could meet the people behind these ideas and learn their truths and their true agendas behind it? Would you still want to wear certain clothing? Would you still want to look or project a certain image because it's cool? Would you still want to watch certain things or listen to certain things and involve yourself with certain entertainment if you could be in on the occult, the hidden cult behind the influencers who enable the culture leaders? And then you have the culture vipers. Another conversation for another day. Peace and blessings to you, beautiful people. I do a lot of videos on Facebook, but it's to my understanding that everything needs to be done through YouTube. And again, YouTube, my goal is only to exercise my rights of freedom of speech, to offer my mind what I believe is right. But I encourage you guys to really just think about things before you decide to follow things that you haven't even asked, like, why am I wearing this? Man, what's up with these big red boots? Why? Well, yeah, it's cool, but who designed these? What does that design? What is that designer into? Who are they? Like, what? We just, as people, we want to be a part of a group. We want to be a part of something. But really do your research. Listen, I'm a person that you should learn who I am, because these platforms, everybody got something to say. But when you follow the, in other words, I have receipts of a life that I live. I've been doing this for a long time, teaching, but I'm just more so now. It's time for me to be more public. So that's what I'm saying. Follow receipts. You guys don't see the receipts behind a lot of the things that you get into and the people that you follow. Everything you think you see is a facade. But I say to you that if people have closed doors and you can't go in those doors, why would you want to be a part of anything or support any person that you can't be in on the meetings? You cannot be a part of it and you cannot learn the details of things. But you give your hard-earned money and you give your time, and then what? Peace and blessings. I will make these videos more professional. Of course, clean up. My hair is a little out of whack today, but um, it's time for me to begin to more so show my face and interact with you beautiful people. And it encourages me um, to know if you guys are listening. Let the world know that these conversations are important. This is how YouTube, they call it an algorithm. And one thing about the world, anything that the world wants, the world tends to feed back to you. So share this message and involve yourself in it. Peace and blessings, and bye for now.